How are you doing? Well, so today, is everything okay in every way? Do you need someone to talk to?
Have you ever thought about what heaven is really going to be like? I mean, we all think about seeing our loved ones again, and that's definitely a part of it. But it's not the main event. You know, it's like when you are waiting for a concert to start, and you are excited to see your friends who are there with you. But when the band walks out on stage, that's who you are really focused on. It's the same with heaven. We'll be with God, and that's what's going to matter most. Can you believe it? We'll know and love each other, but it's all going to be centered around God. The happiness of heaven isn't just about being with the people we love. It's about being with the one who loves us most, God. And that's what we've got to focus on. That's what we've got to desire. I mean, think about it. We've all been there, right? We've all had those moments where we're like, what's the point of all this? And the answer is, it's all about God. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, but how can I love God if I don't really know him? And that's a fair question. I mean, we can't love someone we don't know, right? It's like trying to be friends with someone you've never met. You've got to make an effort to get to know them, to learn about them, to talk to them. And it's the same with God. We've got to build a relationship with him. And that takes time and effort. I was an idiot for thinking that I could just coast through life and expect to have a deep relationship with God. But the thing is, it's not just about knowledge, it's about relationship. We've got to start with the basics, and then let it grow into a deep and meaningful relationship. It's like writing to a pen pal. At first, it's just a casual thing, but as you keep writing and getting to know each other, it deepens into a real friendship. But here's the thing. We can't just sit back and wait for God to do all the work. We've got to put in the effort. We've got to make the decision to love him and follow him. And that's not always easy. It takes sacrifice. It takes dedication. I mean, I've been there. I've struggled with it. But the payoff is worth it. The happiness of heaven is waiting for us. And it's a happiness that's beyond anything we can imagine. It's not just about feeling happy. It's about being happy. Really and truly happy. It's about being fulfilled, being complete. And that's what God offers us. A happiness that's not based on circumstances, but on our relationship with him. I mean, think about it. We've all had those moments where we're like, this is the best day ever! But then something happens, and it's like, oh wait, this is actually the worst day ever. But with God, it's not like that. His love is constant. It's always there. Now, some of you might be thinking, but what about those who don't know God, who don't love him? And that's a tough question. I mean, God doesn't force himself on anyone. He gives us the freedom to choose. And if we choose not to love him, not to follow him, then we're missing out on the happiness of heaven. It's not that God is punishing us. It's just that we're not able to see him, to experience him. We're blind to his love. But for those of us who do love God, who do follow him, the happiness of heaven is waiting. And it's not just a generic happiness, it's a personalized happiness, tailored to each of us. It's like, imagine you are at a concert, and the music is speaking directly to your soul. That's what heaven is like. But instead of music, it's God's love that's speaking to us. And the more we love God, the more we'll experience that happiness. It's like, the more you know someone, the more you love them, and the more you'll enjoy their presence. It's the same with God. The more we know him, the more we'll love him, and the more we'll enjoy his presence in heaven. So, what do we have to do to gain the happiness of heaven? We've got to know, love, and serve God in that order. We've got to start with knowledge, then let it grow into love, and then let that love manifest itself in action. And it's not just about us. God gives us the help we need, the grace we need, to make it happen. Heaven is a supernatural reward, and it requires a supernatural life. We've got to live a life that's centered on God, a life that's focused on loving and serving him. And that's not always easy, but it's worth it. The happiness of heaven is waiting for us, and it's a happiness that's beyond anything we can imagine. I hope you gained something valuable. This journey through success, failure, sin, and redemption, it's been a long road, and I don't want to make it sound like I have it all figured out. But if anything I said connected with you, or maybe gave you a new perspective on where you are at in life, do me a favor, hit that like button. It really helps get this message out there, and I promise you, it keeps me motivated to keep pushing and sharing more with you. If you are dealing with struggles, questions, or just want to talk about anything I mentioned today, leave a comment down below. I try to read through them all, and I'll do my best to respond. We're in this together, and I want to help guide you through whatever you are going through. If there is something you didn't quite understand, or maybe something you want me to dig deeper into, let me know. Your input means everything. And, hey, if you want to stay updated on all this content and go deeper with me into the lessons I am learning, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. You know how it works. Your support lets me know I am doing something right, and it helps this channel keep growing. Trust me, there is a lot more coming, and I wouldn't want you to miss it. Remember, this isn't just about me, it's about all of us. We've all got a story, and we're all figuring it out as we go. I am not perfect, but with God's grace, I am learning, I am growing, and I am here for you every step of the way. So go ahead and subscribe, like the video if you haven't already, and leave a comment if you want to dive deeper into any of this. Thanks for your support. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay blessed and keep pushing forward.